Hello folks, today we are going to start a playlist of Spring Boot deployment on AWS Cloud. So to deploy it in a Spring Boot application in AWS Cloud, we will use AWS CodeCommit, AWS ECR, AWS ECR ECS Fargate, AWS Code Pipeline and AWS Load Balancer. So without wasting any time, let's jump into the AWS console. So here is my AWS console. I will set the region to nearer. I say a Pacific Mumbai to make the application deploy in a particular region is to make the application give responses faster. So much closer in your area it will be deployed, much faster response you will get. So first, to deploy an application and especially a Spring Boot application on AWS, the first step is you go to the search, type CodeCommit, this one, click here. So here we need to create a repository. Now what is a CodeCommit? CodeCommit CodeCommit is same as GitHub for easy understanding. It's just a Git repository where it will store your repositories remotely on the cloud, and from here AWS Code Pipeline will fetch all the codes and make it run, and then generate the image file or Docker image and make and deploy directly to the production. So let's create a repository first. Here we should give a repository name, authorization underscore repo. Okay, description, if you want to give any description you can. I am leave it blank. It's great. Yeah, authorization repo is created. So now we need to clone it into our system so that we can upload some code to this repo. So we will see cloning in the next video. For the time being, thank you for watching and keep learning. Hi folks, in last video we have made the CodeCommit repository. Now we need to create CodeCommit credentials to access the CodeCommit repository from our system. So how we will do that? We go to IAM, click on users, click on username, click on security credential, click on generate credentials. This is here HTTPS get credential code commit. Click on generate credentials. It will generate a credential for you. Download that credential in your system. And that's it. This is how we will generate a credential, and how to clone that repository and how to make your code uploaded in your AWS CodeCommit. We will see this on the next video. Till then, thank you and keep learning. Welcome back. Hello friends, last time we have seen that how we can generate credential for access the CodeCommit repository remotely from our systems. Now we will clone the repository in our system. How we will do that? Go to CodeCommit, go to your repository. Now first what you will do, you will just go to a local location, go make a folder, go inside that empty folder, open cmd, type git init, git repository is initialize. Now copy this, go there, paste it, git clone authorization. Now it will ask you for the credential. Here you need to give the git credential you have derived from that IAM Excel sheet. There the IAM Excel sheet downloaded, there you can see your git username and git password. If you didn't check my previous video, just go and check it. Here I have described how you can generate credential for this. For the time being, let me put that credential. I have previously copied it here. Just let me copy it. Now click on OK. See, now we have cloned the repository and it is showing an error message that you are appeared to have cloned an empty repository. This is because this repository consists of nothing, and you can see in your folder that an authorization repo similar name have been hit here. This is directly connected to this repository, this folder. Whatever code you will put this folder, you are able to upload it in this repository. So let me copy some code here. Let me do that. Let me do that by deployed repository authorization service. Always make sure that you are copying these files, not this folder, otherwise pipeline won't work. Just copy this AWS, paste. Now here we have uploaded the files. Now what we need to do, open in an IDE, trust project. I am opening in IntelliJ. You can maybe open it in Eclipse, that the process will be the same. So first I will discuss about that build spec and app spec YML later. First let me upload this code. But I will update, pull the repository. Okay. Give the command of first commit to commit it, then click on commit. You need to commit this first before pushing it to the AWS CodeCommit repository. Warnings, it's alright, let's commit anyway. 25 files have been committed. Now we need to push this repository. Push successful. So let's see whether it's successful or not. See, you can see the files here. So yeah, we are done with our code commit and we have pushed the repo, and maybe we need to do some changes in app spec YML, in build spec YML, and then we again push it. But for that time being, I will ending this video here and we will continue in the next video. Till then, keep learning. Hi there, we have completed till here. We have uploaded our code into the CodeCommit repository. Now we need to know some facts, that we need to make sure that our project includes these two files, appspec.yml and buildspec.yml, and the Docker file. Docker file and appspec.yml, buildspec.yml is needed for code pipeline. Okay, so to first start, before starting with the this deployment, we first need to check some things. What is it? First, be sure in pom.xml you have added the Spring Boot actuator. If you don't have the Spring Boot actuator, you make sure that you have your defined health check function for your project. Otherwise, in this in my case, Spring Boot, when I upload the Spring Boot on the system, and when we going to make work with load balancer, the health checks of the load balancer will fail. We will see what is the consequences. And now here in the application.properties file, where src main resources application.properties file, you make sure you have added this context path. If you don't added this context path, then we cannot deploy it by the path into the load balancer. So make sure you have applied this. Okay, now we have this app-spec YML or the build-spec YML. Now to make this app-spec YML understand, this is a task definition we need to give, and this is a container name, and this is a container port. Container port is that port where in which port your application is running. Means if you run your application, which port does your application takes to run, that you should mention here, and here you should name the container name. So let's first, to get this container name task definition, we first create a task definition. Without wasting any time, let's create a task definition. Go to the AWS console, type ECS Elastic Container Service, click on it, go there. First create a new cluster. You need to create just one cluster for for all that for one project deployment. You don't need to create multiple clusters. Okay, first be sure that. So click on next step, give a cluster name, YouTube AWS. So click on create, and cluster is created. View cluster. So this is, see, if you click on cluster, you can see this YouTube AWS. You can deploy multiple services in this AWS cluster. Okay, so to go with this thing, we need to first create the task definition. Let's create a task definition. So create a task definition is simple. Just came here, this is authorization service. You can give any name as per your project. Task role, select this task role. It is optional. If you won't find this ECS task execution, just put it blank, it will work, don't worry. Just go down, select task size, always select least until and unless you need it. More, add container, give a container name, authorization service, and give the same name here, same name. Okay, now you need to give a repository URI. To create a repository URI, what you need to do, you need to just go to the AWS. Okay, you need to just go to the AWS, type ECR. ECR repository is just as simple as, like, it is same as the Docker repository or Docker hub. It's a Docker hub, you can say it's a Docker hub for AWS. We will click on repositories, create repositories. We will go with private repository. So let's start with authorization service, and we will go for create a repository. Yeah, that's the thing. We just created a repository. Now what we need to do, we need to copy this URI. Just copy it, go here, paste it here, and put colon latest, and come down, put port mapping 80, and what is that one? This one, 8088. It is that port in which you are running your application on localhost also. You give a localhost 8080 / the rest of the part of your head of your URL to running an API. So that port you need to give here. So just click on add, it will add. Okay, now click on create. See, authorization service succeeded. Filters. Yeah, now we have give the container name here. You can see we have give the container name, port also there, but where do we find this task definition? That is important. So where do we find it? We just go to that back AWS, click on JSON, go down, see task definition ARN, just copy this, Control C, and paste it here. And here we are done with the appspec.yml. Now we need to make some changes in buildspec.yml. What are the changes? Let's do that. Go to the buildspec.yml. Now what need to do, we need to change these two lines, 11 and 12. So just go there, go to the ECR, copy it, paste it here, paste it here, this line. Now for this 11th line we need to go back, click on this, click on view push commands, copy it, copy the first line, go there, just replace it with it, Control V, Control save. Yeah, we are done and we are ready to deploy our application. So now what we need to do, we have made some changes, so we need to repush it. First pull it, now commit it, ready to deploy, commit. Now push it, push successful. Now it's time to deploy the system. First, to deploy the system, first we will go to here to open a new tab, go here, go to EC2, we will create a load balancer. It will need it because we won't like to use the IPs for calling our APIs. We need to have some decent DNS. So we will going to create for load balancer, create an application load balancer, click, give this a name whatever you want, like something anything, authorization YouTube, that's it. Just click on this. Now we need to create a security group, click on create a new security group, give this a name, YouTube SG security group, YouTube exam habit. Inbound rules, give this as HTTP custom IPv4. Outbound rules also change to HTTP custom IPv4, create security group, and it's been created. Great. Now go here, click on YouTube security group, keep the default as it is, don't do anything, just add your security group. Now we need to create one target group. So if you don't know what is security group, wait for target group, then wait for my videos. I will make the detailed video on these two things, security group and target group. We need to create one target group, one default target group. Create target group, click on IP addresses, create a target group name, YouTube default dash tg. Okay, that's it. Next. Yeah, next, create target group. It's created. Now go to the load balancer, click this little, see it's showing target group is there. Now we are going to create load balancer, so it's created. Now this video is getting long, I am stopping here. We will proceed with the deployment in the next video. Till then, bye bye and keep learning. Hi there. In last video we have completed creating the load balancer. Now we need to create service to deploy our project. Let's go to ECS action, go to clusters, task definition, create this task definition we have created in before. If you haven't checked how I have created this task definition, go and check my previous video, it will be described there. So click on this, click on action, create service. We will create Fargate, then the service name, authorization service. Number of tasks will be 1. We will go down, click on next step, click on subnets. This subnet we are using, yeah. See, subnet should be this VPC. You need to configure this VPC very carefully. You need to check which VPC you have created your load balancer, and then place it here, then select it from this list and go to this custom TCP. There is this port range 8088. The port you are described in that appspec.yml, this port, make sure it's that. Click on save, enable application load balancer, grace period give it 60. This is you're showing authorization YouTube, your load balancer, you can check it here. Target groups, click on load balancer, see its VPC ID is 0B5B. This is the VPC ID. You have to be clear 0B5B. This is the VPC ID. In this VPC, this load balancer is available. You have to be sure that you are using the correct VPC or your load balancer will not show. So click here, add to load balancer. We will go for 80. We will create a new target group because this is a new deployment. Okay. Now this path pattern, you need to give that path pattern, this application dot properties, this pattern, this one, Control C, this path pattern here, and put that star is mandatory, otherwise it will not evaluate the rest of the part. Evaluation order 1 because it's our first. Health check pattern will be auth / actuator, as we are using Spring actuator. Health, just to confirm that we will run it on localhost and confirm that it is working. Java version 17, run it. It have started to run. Let's go there. Let's go here, search for Postman, click on Postman. click on new, click on http dot locl local host localhost slash 8088 auth slash actuator slash health, and click on send. It's showing up, so it's working. So we have checked in the localhost that health checking is working fine, so we just stop it here. Okay, go there, we will copy this till this, Control C, go there, and we can paste it here also, auth actuator health. Now click on next step. Don't adjust desired service count because it will enable auto scale in configuration if you configure for auto scale. If you want to configure for auto scale, you can do it here. Click on next step, click on create service. Now service has been created. Now we are proceed with by creating the pipeline. So go to a new Amazon tab, search for code pipeline, click that, create a pipeline, name authorization service, VIC service. Next, okay, 2, source provider CodeCommit, repository name authorization repo, branch name master, click on next, build provider code build, create project, project name YouTube, authorization, operating system name Ubuntu, runtime standard, image code build 6.0. click on this privilege tab, otherwise this pipeline will not make your Docker image. Click on this, copy this server role name into a notepad. We will need this after creating this. Paste it here, just keep it there for some time. Go down, add environment variables, check your build spec file, go there, build spec YML, it contains some variables. These variables we need to give their name, value. This value we can get it from here, authorization service, variable. Next is repository URI, because you can see here repository URI also a variable, so we can copy it from ECR. Repository is, this should be there, this is the repository URI. So that's it, we are done with this. Now create to continue to pipeline. It will take some time. Yeah, it's done. Go to code pipeline, see it successfully created YouTube authorization. Now click on next. Before proceeding with deployments, before going there, go to that notepad, copy this, and go click on this, open link a new tab, go there, click IAM, click on IAM, click on IAM roles. Now just copy that here, you can find it showing here. Go to add permission, attach policies, type here container. You need to use this power user, Amazon EC2 container registry power user. This is provide full access to about EC2 container. Otherwise your Docker image will not be pushed here and it will showing an error. Okay, and your pipeline or your deployment will not be successful. Use this one, not this registry public power user. Be sure about that. Container service for power user, click on it, click attach policies. We have attached the policies. Now into the roles. Now proceed with deploy. Deploy, we will create the ECS cluster, service name auth service, file name.json. Click on this, image definition on JSON, Control C, Control V. You need to select the right cluster so that your Amazon authorization service is running. See here, if you go to that ECS and this is the view service, it is running on YouTube AWS cluster. There are two clusters is currently running. I am selecting this cluster. In here this service is running. We need to select that in the code pipeline. Now click on next. Now everything is all right. Create pipeline. What is it saying? Saying that authorization service already exists. Let's previously see what will the error. Code commit previous. This one is the error. Now let's see whether it's starting or not. Pipeline already exists. Duplicate name. Oh, I think I have already exist this file. Okay, let's check. Existing role service, authorization service. Let, if it is already exists, let it be. For your case you need to create a new one. For my case it is already exists before. I have tried it many times. So for your case you can go with the new service rule. It will work fine. Now see, this pipeline is working. See, it's done, ready to deploy. The commit message, the from the repository code, pulling the code is done from the repository. That is showing the ready to deploy message. Now it's building. Click on details. Let's see the details, phase details, qubit provisioning, bell logs. For the time being, let's go to the load balancer EC2. Go to here, click on target groups, select the current, this one that is you are deploying currently. Create on health checks, edit it, go to here, make it 2, make this thing 5 and make it 10 and save changes. Okay, 2, save changes. Yeah. Now let's see. That is for the, I am preparing that for the, because health check is taking more time, so I have reduced the number of health checks so that it can we can do it faster, so that it will reduce the time of deployment. Otherwise we can do it for more health checks, but it will take more time to deploy. So keep in mind that. And if your health checks are failing in the target groups, keep in mind, or your deploy phase is failing, keep in mind it may be of health checks, and lower the count of health checks will make it run. Okay, so check with that. It started, it's starting. See, it's now running, now downloading the every dependencies, and it will make the Docker image, and it will push to the ECR repository. See, right now this ECR repository is blank, and it will automatically create it. And you, this is the beauty of AWS. If you can think, if you want going to do it in your own system by implementing Docker, and it will take more time and more memory also, and AWS make it easier by lessing the computing overhead. Okay, so the build stage will take some time. It will take some time. See, this is, it's running, its build is still running. Let it be built. We will continue in the next video, because it will take more time and this video is getting longer. So we will continue it next video. Till then, happy learning, and subscribe to this channel. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Yeah, bye. Hi there. So you can see the build phase is completed. Now it's going to deploy phase. If you can see this code this log here, it's showing succeeded, message status code update succeeded, and you see this in this ECR repository. If you reload it, you can see the image, one image is pushed, and now it's deploying. Let's start that. To check whether it is deployed or not, you go to the target group, go to the EC2 experience, go to this target groups, EC2, click on EC2, then come here to the target group, and this, click on here, targets. See, one target is initialing. Let it be, let it open one load balancer page. Let this copy this DNS, go to Postman, in place of your local host, now paste that DNS. See, now let's check whether it's giving a up output or not. Yeah, it's up. If you see it's up, check on target groups, it's healthy. Yeah, it's showing healthy and everything is deployed. Now paste it here, auth/swagger -ui/, let's see whether it's opening or not. Hope it will open. Hope it will, yeah, open. See, yeah, it's opening. Yeah, it's open. So the deployment is done. So now check with one authentication, generate token, username is whether it's running properly or not. Username is admin 01, password in this point dmin admin. If I execute this, whether it is giving an output, yeah, see, this is giving an output, this is giving, generating the token. So yeah, code pipeline is completed, and it in sometimes this deployment will be succeeded. See, it succeeds. So here we are completed, we are deployment, our API is deployed on the AWS and it's running fine. Just go through these steps and you can deploy any API. That's the beauty of this API AWS, and it will reduce your computing overhead also. And this is the full authorization service pipeline is going. So thanks for watching my videos. Thank you. If you like my videos, if you like my work, please like, share and subscribe. It will motivate me to make such more such kind of playlist. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thanks for watching.